simply gone. We're talking about figures that very much live with us every single day of our life, because they constitute that candle that shed itself so it can illuminate our path to Jannah. We often, just like the Prophet ﷺ was slandered, you see everyone, and the prophets before him was slandered, you see everyone that walks the path of haqq is also subject to slandering. Lakin this is not Surah Imam Hussein. There's two things that when we talk about Imam Hussein, we see. Number one, the wasiyah. What is the wasiyah? The will of his grandfather ﷺ. Didn't he teach him? Since Ibrahim taught his son, and Yaqub taught his son and gave him a will, there must have been also teaching and will that the Nabi ﷺ left for Imam Hussein and his family. And that wasiyah is the amr bil ma'ruf and nahi anil munkar, that you order the good and you forbid the evil. And that wasiyah, that will, Imam al-Hussein took it literally, so much that he went and carried it, even if it cost him his own life. And that's a lesson for us. For those who are willing to sell not only their dunya for someone else's dunya, they're willing to sell their akhirah for someone else's dunya. Not even for their own. They sell their akhirah for someone else's dunya. They sell their akhirah for a word. They say about this, he's munafiq, he's like, he's ghiba, namima, hiqd, hasad, and jealousy, and hate, and all these things. They sell their akhirah to please someone else in front of them. That's one. And one thing, one message online. And Imam Hussein carried this message of his prophet, of his grandfather ﷺ and his prophet ﷺ, and he went all the way by saying, no matter what happened, I will carry this. The second thing that Imam Hussein carried with him in that day where he was murdered and slaughtered was the principle of dignity for the believers. وَلِلَّهِ الْعِزَّةِ وَلِرَسُولِهِ وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the izzah, the pride for him, for himself, and for those who believe. And therefore you will still hear, even today, if you go visit Imam Hussein, even if you visit it in your heart, you will still hear the statement that he shouted 1,400 years ago almost, to those thousands of armies in front of him, and he says, "Wallahi la u'atikum biyadi i'ta' al-dalil, wa la afirru firar al-abid." By Allah, I will never succumb to you like a humiliated person, and I will never run away from death like a slave of the dunya runs. Never. Never. The body take. They said, kill him, kill him. They killed him. But here's the point. Killing a body never extinguishes an idea. In fact, therefore, I can declare unequivocally that Imam al-Hussein was born the day they massacred him. Because he is still living, for he is a shaheed. It is the worst thing to do to an idea to kill the body that carries the idea. Because the idea cannot be killed by death. For the word of La ilaha illallah is not subject to death like that. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا كما أمر، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأمر لمن جحد به وكفر، أشهد أن سيدنا محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم الشفيع المشفع المحشر، صلى الله وسلم عليه وعلى آله أهل الفقه والنظر والعلم وأثر على من بآثاره مقتفى معتبر. Imam Hussein must tell us, look, is this life worth that you give for it so much that you lose everything you are about? The reason that Imam Hussein still scares people is because it is the light that extinguishes the darkness. When you turn the light on, what happens to darkness? Darkness escapes. Therefore, it will shed light on those people who are merchants of the deen. And we have lots of merchants of the deen. maybe we are among them, we have to be careful. It sheds light on those people who do business on behalf or with the deen. It sheds light and exposes those who lie on the deen. It sheds light and exposes those who cheat and prevent people from learning their deen. It sheds light on the principles of how this deen are to be carried. It sheds light on the obligation of every single human being amongst you to carry the truth and stand with the truth and not dance with the batil like many people do oftentimes on the cost of other people and the principles. It sheds so many light that it shakes people even while they're dying. And I'll finish with this. The poet, Al-Farid says, he tells Al-Ma'mun anyway. He tells him, وَعَدُوكَ يَا ابْنَ عَمِّ مُحَمَّدٍ صِنْفَانِ ضوء الفجر والإظلام أو رصدان ضوء الفجر والإظلام. And your enemy is the two things, the morning and at night. فإذا تنبه رعته وإذا غفى سلت عليه سيوفك الأحلام. If he wakes up, he remembers that Hussein and all these things and what he stands for, he's scared. And even when he sleeps, the poet says, then he sees the swords coming towards him from him. You can't sleep at night and you can't sleep in the morning. And therefore those tyrants and oppressors and those who wish to hide things, they don't want to do that because they can't sleep if the voice of Haqq is always mentioning. I'll finish with this and I'll tell you this. Life is too short for all of us. No matter how long you live, life is too short. Ask Nuh alayhi salam for Quran al-Kareem. Ask all the people who lived a long time, how long you're going to live. But the stands that you take count. Where you stand with the Haqq or the Batil, that counts. And that not only counts, it's recorded and registered. And therefore, it is a tribute to Hussein, or what Urwa al-Muradi mentioned in his poetry before the Imam Hussein was massacred. He said these things supposedly, or at least an imagination of what he says. فَإِنْ نَهْزِمْ فَهَزَّعُونَ قَدْمًا. If 70 people with me and thousands of people against me, if I win, then I've already always won. I've always won. It's not a matter about winning or losing. فَهَزَّمُونَ قِدْمًا وَإِنْ نَهْزَمْ فَغَيْرُ مُغَلَّبِينَ وَمَا يَنْطِقُنَا جُبْنٌ وَلَكِنْ مَنَايَانَا وَدَوْلَةُ آخَرِينَ. It is not that we are cowards, but it is the decree of Allah that we finish and someone else has started. إذا ما الموت رفع عن أناس كلاكله أناخ بآخرين فقل للشامتين بنا أفيقوا سيلقى الشامتون كما نقينا. If the death stays away from people, he will put his things in other people, take other people. So he says, tell people who are looking at us and watching, you shall taste what we have tasted. But where will you stand? اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين ارفع يا مولانا كلمة الحق والدين. اللهم من أراد بالإسلام والمسلمين خيرا فوفقه إليه، من أراد بهم غير ذلك فاجعل دائرة السوء عليه. اللهم رد المسلمين إلى دينك ردا جميلا. آتي أنفسنا تقواها وزكيها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. اشف اللهم مرضانا وعاف مبتلانا وفك أسرانا وارحم موتانا. اغفر اللهم لنا ولآبائنا ولمشايخنا ولمن له حق علينا ولمن على الخير أعاننا وعن الشر يبعدنا ولمن أوصانا بالدعاء. وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وآله. أقم الصلاة.